Hi, I'm Adam Crossley.
And I'm Shireen Edu.
We're here today to model for you an entire individual oral, the analysis of the literary work, the analysis of the non-literary work, and the question and answer section. This section will focus on just the literary part, but you can watch this video from start to finish with the non-lit and the Q&A. As different parts of the assessment criteria are hit, thought bubbles will pop up. Criteria A is knowledge of the works and connecting them to the global issue, and it'll light up.
Criterion B is your author's choices. Make these very, very relevant to your global issue and tightly aligned to that extract and the body of work.
And also the effect on audience in criteria B is pretty important too. Time management will be displayed throughout the oral, and also look at how moving between the different key parts. This is the biggest part that students struggle with, is moving between the literary extract and the literary body of work, and the non-literary extract and the non-literary body of work. So that'll be labeled really clearly on the screen. Watch that and manage your time carefully in your own oral with those areas.
And for criterion D, which is your academic language, think very carefully about your word choices. Keep everything very simple, very clear, but varied. Avoid repetition and long pauses, as well as the verbal fillers.
Yeah, criteria D is not as highlighted in the video, but you'll just see it throughout. Should we get to the model?
Yes.
All right.
Hello, welcome. We're here today to film an individual oral. I'm an individual oral examiner. My name's Adam Crossley. I'm here with Ms. Shireen Naidu, and we are going to model for you an individual oral. Are we ready?
I am.
All right, I will start the timer and we shall begin. Today, for my individual oral, I'm going to be discussing the issue of racism and identity. In it, I'm going to be exploring two influential works. First is Langston Hughes' poetry, and Langston Hughes' poetry conveys that racism stunts the development and dreams and aspirations that are crucial for individual identity. For my non-literary work, I will be focusing on Richard Attenborough's film Gandhi, which shows how racism can shape an individual's identity and motivate them to fight injustice. Both works show that racism limits the identity of individuals and that racist societies should be challenged. My extract is Dream Deferred by Langston Hughes for literary. And the first quote I would like to focus upon in my extract is on line 4, when it says, "What happens to a dream deferred? Does it fester like a sore?" And then again on line 6 it says, "Does it stink like rotten meat?" We have two kinds of imagery being used there. The first, in fester like a sore, is tactile imagery. You can feel the pain of the person who is suffering under this sore that is festering. And also it's visual imagery. You can picture it, and it's not a pretty picture. It is unpleasant. And then stink like rotten meat is olfactory imagery. So there's actually 3 types of imagery in there. Both are similes, and all of the similes convey together the identity of a person whose dreams are deferred or denied, delayed over and over again. This conveys the widespread denial of dreams to the Black American population that Langston Hughes was representing with his poetry. And it prompts the white audience at the time who was reading this poem to feel guilty about the ways in which identity and dreams have been denied to that population. Another question from Langston Hughes's poem is, "Does it explode?" which is the final line, line 11. It's a rhetorical question. The explosion is a metaphor for violence. The type of violence is not clearly enunciated or explained. It's just hinted at. It could be crime, it could be rebellion, but what happens within a population when you take away their identity and their dreams? And by ending with violence being implied as a possible reaction, it's a subtle threat to those who would keep the Black American from their dreams and from their identity. As we move on to the body of work, we can look at Hughes's poem, Mother to Son. In that poem, the Black American mother is talking to her son, and she says, "Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters." The crystal stair is a metaphor for a life of ease, a life of comfort. She is saying that her life has been difficult, challenging, and used metaphors within that with the tactile imagery of tacks and splinters. You can imagine the suffering that she's been climbing and working through. And the colloquial voice allows the Black American audience to really connect with the speaker, to identify with her experience and the way that her dreams and identity have been denied. And in another poem from the body of work, As I Grow Older, the speaker talks about a wall rose slowly, slowly between me and my dream. So we see repetition. There's several line breaks in there, so there's enjambment to show the long process of the wall rising, the wall being a metaphor for racism that keeps them away from their dreams. It shows that it has been a long process with the repetition of slowly. And as the poem continues, the speaker says, "My hands, exclamation mark, my dark hands, exclamation point, break through the wall," and another exclamation point. So we have repetition, the exclamation mark showing hope for the audience. So despite all of these dreams being denied or deferred, Langston Hughes wants to end with the audience feeling hopeful, inspired, to challenge, to break through the walls that racist societies might put upon their populations.
This video is for the literary section of the individual oral. The next video is for the non-literary section, and the final video will be on the question and answer section. Again, please take note of the timings, roughly 1 minute on your introduction, 2 minutes on the extract, and 2 minutes on the body of work. This is very, very important.
And also, everything is connecting back to that global issue. It's the hinge. If you want to watch the whole video, it's just one 15-minute chunk. That's also available in the link. Also, you may have noticed there wasn't many comments on criteria D. That's because it's mostly a continuous thing, but the A, B, and C are really highlighted throughout the video.
Okay, should we move on to the next section, the non-literary section?
Let's do that.